What's up and welcome into a special guest edition of the Skolcial Network. Yes, we are missing Brev and his beautiful beard, but we have replaced him temporarily with Edman. Some of you may know from Vikings Twitter, also a previous guest on our channel. Edman, how you doing, man?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Doing good. Who is not doing well apparently is Brev, who is battling some mysterious disease that he doesn't even know how to describe. So, sending all the vibes and positivity Brev's way. But even with Brev being sick, I can assure one thing: he still smells incredible. Thanks to Dr. Squatch. You guys could also feel like a man and smell like Skolcial just by going to the link down below and saving $10 off your first purchase of $20 with Dr. Squatch. I do not have Brev's props to run by the screen like the deodorant and the soap and the ball lotion, but just imagine he's here just throwing that at the camera. You can also save yourself a little money on tickets via SeatGeek using either code BREV or code JASONH on your first purchase. I believe you will save $20 off your first purchase. Yes, Dude, I forgot. I could tell you how weird it is recording without Brev. I forgot literally what the part of the show is I read every week. So, yes, it's $20 off your first purchase. You can use code Brev. You can use code JasonH. Smell good and have good experiences. Get Dr. Squatch. Go catch a game. A lot of Vikings games are going up significantly in price compared to where they were before the season. So get yourself a deal and use SeatGeek and use one of our codes on your first purchase. But some of you may recognize Edman as our quarterback. I feel like I have to tee up for those who don't know and maybe didn't see your last episode. What is the Darnell Defenders Club?
So when Kirk left, I decided to throw a tweet out there, and I was like, we had the Kirk Crusaders for the last, what was it, like 6 years? We need a new group to defend our quarterback. And so my buddy Cole, at CDiggs8 on Twitter, he had tweeted something about he's going to prove all the Darnold doubters wrong. And I quote tweeted it, and I was like, we're going to start the Darnold Defenders. And that's just kind of how it started.
Yeah, you guys have been having a pretty good month so far.
Hell yeah, we have.
So would you say, like, was it mostly a meme and now it's become like a legitimate thing, or was there always like 100% belief that this could happen?
So on the last episode I was in, I had initially said it was just kind of a meme, but that was the time like OTAs and stuff was happening. Oh, sorry, that Mountain Dew is getting to me. I said initially it was a meme, but the more clips I saw of Darnold, he's got an arm, dude. He had it, and so I eventually went from a little bit of a meme to no, we're full bore, buddy.
Yeah, the amount of Photoshop you guys as a group are putting together weekly is impressive to say the least at this point.
I've got so many in my phone, it's ridiculous.
Do you have some prepped and ready to go that you haven't made? Okay.
Oh yeah, dude. Yeah, I've even been making some for Flores. Like I had a really sick idea I wanted to do for Brian Flores, and I wanted to twist it with Chameleonaire, and I wanted to make it Flow Millionaire, and then have it to like they see me blitzing.
I think you need to lean into that. I don't know how you would put that into one solid meme format, but I think it's worth it.
See, I had a picture idea going. I think it would work so much better with like a video, and I can't do any of that. So
I can help you. I don't know how to edit the song to actually say that, but yeah. I can put his face on somebody, and that's pretty much all I'm capable of.
I should get a computer because I do everything off my phone.
Oh, same. Yeah, no. Like our intro on this Peek Behind the Curtain, I made on an editing app with no animation. Oh, I just smacked my mic. With no animation tools or anything. I just took the logo that Eli made for us, and I just layered it in, and I put a circle over the O and took it off so it looks like that's popping in. So you could, if you just mess around with stuff on your phone, it's amazing.
Yeah.
Like what you can put together. And it's also amazing the absolute dog crap you could put together on your phone too.
Dude, I just use Snapchat, so I'll put it on there, I'll hit edit, and I'll cut and paste. That's how I make all my stuff.
With that, now that everybody's gonna be memeing because you just revealed the secrets. I forgot Snapchat has that cut feature. I totally
Yeah,
forgot about that.
that's how I do all my
Um,
stuff.
Overall, obviously Darnold is the subject of choice. I wanted to get a Darnold jersey. I'm sure you saw on Twitter.
I
My
am
wife's
still
like, "Dude, you
waiting
have."
for mine to get here.
Did you go with the classic or the whiteout?
I did the Winter Warrior.
The Winter Warrior. Yeah. Are you gonna go to
Yeah.
that game?
When is it?
It's like December 16th. It's a Monday night game currently,
Oh
but it can
fuck
get
no!
flex.
Sorry,
Okay.
if I wasn't supposed to swear. No, I gotta work, dog. I ain't going to
Oh
fucking
yeah,
that game.
I don't know. Hey, I had to take time off, but then I realized after I'm like, crap, I booked that as literally a fly out Monday, like I did for the. Remember how like toasted I was at the draft because I flew out at like 5
Yeah,
a.m. Yeah, I'm
yeah.
doing that again for an actual game, but the game
Oof.
can get flexed. And there's some other matchups that week, like Bills Lions, stuff like that, that I think I hate that Monday night can get flexed. It's so screwed up to anyone who made travel plans. I hate it.
Yeah,
So I did like separately book the hotel for Saturday and Sunday as a separate reservation, but like did the like cancel option. So I'm
yeah,
covered on that. I just hope I don't have to pay like an insane amount for a plane ticket.
yeah. Hopefully that all works out and it stays
Yeah.
put.
Yeah, dude. Oh, that'd be rough. But obviously Darnold's doing great. My wife got me this as a consolation prize because I have probably like 25 jerseys, and she's probably right at this point. How are you feeling about the team as a whole? Like, what's been most impressive to you outside of what Darnold's doing?
uh, Dude, the defense, man. How can you not talk about them? Like they are outside of one half of football against Green Bay that was bad. Like who gives a shit? They have been playing with their hair on fire. I love it. I love it.
Yeah, and even then, like I was thinking, because like there was that point in camp where it was clear Darnold was doing well, but it was also clear McCarthy was exceeding expectations.
Yeah.
And then it came out, that video came out of Darnold having what looked like the most insanely stupid pass possible on that screen where Van Ginkel picked it off.
Yeah.
And now that's just what he does. He did it in the first 2 weeks, but he dropped it. I think Debo ripped it out against San Francisco, but he just destroys screens. So, like,
Yeah.
even then, like, one bad play we saw of Darnold during camp, now in hindsight, it's like, oh, no, that's just Andrew Van Ginkel.
I do remember seeing that blow up on Twitter and everybody was getting ornery saying that JJ should just start. It's like, I don't know. Like, I didn't know much about Van Ginkel coming in. Like, I knew he was all right, but he's been a stud.
He fits into this team, like,
Yeah.
scheme-wise,
Yeah.
and we say this every time we get a dude with, like, long flowing hair, but, like, just the logo, like, comparisons, he just fits in well. And so it was Grenard, to your point, and
Mm-hmm.
Cashman, and the corners. Like, I didn't expect much out of Shaq or Gilmore, not because they're not good, but just because they're older. But, like, they've both kind of had a renaissance.
Yeah. For real.
It's been interesting. And then, of course, what are your thoughts on Will the Thrill? In limited
You
action
know,
so far, to be honest.
he's been so money as a kicker that I honestly forget about him, which is bad, but he's been awesome. He really has.
First of all, how dare you forget about
Well,
the face of the franchise?
we're so used to having bad kickers where it's like, oh shit, is he gonna make this? Now when he trots out there, it's like, oh okay, I can get up and grab a beer or something. I ain't gotta worry about it.
On extra points, you're right. On any actual field goal attempt, my brain still is like, is this where he shows he's a Vikings kicker? And so far, no. I mean, he hasn't had to, other than that first preseason game, he hasn't had to like nail a walk off or anything. But that's gonna happen at some point.
Right.
And our great value Walmart and Crocs endorsed kicker. That is so funny, dude. Every part of that man is just a gem.
Timeout.
Yes.
I literally the Walmart ones too.
Are those actual Crocs?
No, they're the Walmart ones.
That's crazy because he actually did
I know he's got to
Walmart
deal
and
through
then
both of them,
Crocs.
but yeah,
But I think that's the most Will Reichard thing you could possibly own. The
yeah,
knockoff Crocs that they sell at Walmart.
dude, they're money. I love them.
Well, now I need a pair. My wife bought me a pair, and she specifically bought me the ones with the like slipper insides, the fuzzy ones, so
Ooh,
that I couldn't wear them outside of the house.
oh, That's smart on her end.
Yeah, they're really freaking comfortable.
I
But
wear
I do
mine.
hate that I can't wear them
I
outside.
wear mine all the time, all the damn time.
Yeah, I feel like as a dad, you're like legally required to have a pair of like actual Crocs, but I think she disagrees.
Maybe. Yeah, I got the closest thing.
Yeah, that's fair. So definitely, I agree. As outside of Darnold, like the defense, I think Aaron Jones, even though he hasn't like had that like insane game so far, he's just constantly doing what you need him to do. The team's just
How can you?
balanced.
He's had what, like 2 or 3 games of like 140 plus yards. Like he's
Well,
been
yeah.
very very good. It's we're just not used to it because of Alexander Madison and cooked up Cook.
Well, I think in comparison, people think of prime Dalvin Cook and
Mm-hmm.
they think of Adrian Peterson, and
Yep.
a good like super prop out game from a running back is like 220 yards. I
Right.
don't think we're going to get that out of him, but everything he's doing, and again, a lot of those yards though are still coming in the pass game, which is great because we've been
Mm-hmm.
missing that since Cook left, and even his last couple years he wasn't as our screen game sucked, so it just didn't really go anywhere.
Right.
But I think overall, like without him, I don't know quite what this offense looks like. But
Yeah.
I'm freaking glad we had the free agent class we did.
I think he's making a very quiet but very felt impact on the team itself. But like us as fans looking at it, we don't look at it as much because like he rips off 3, 4, 5 yard runs, a few 10, 15 yarders, and we're just like, oh, okay, he's just consistently moving the chains. And that really gets looked over, I feel like.
It is funny. I'm sure he could relate to this because he's old like us. Is on that what like 35-yard run, 40-yard run he had breaking towards the end zone. You could just see his legs start to give out towards the end, and I think he went down at
Yep.
like. And I'm like, yep, that's relatable, dude.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts and predictions for the Darnold revenge game tomorrow?
Oof. I want to go bold here. I think he's going to throw for 305 touchdowns.
I'm texting Brev to get a score prediction, but I did hear that. You think he has his game of the year against that Jets
He's going to
defense?
take a look at what Mr. fucking Kirk Cousins did down there in Atlanta the other night. And he's going to be like, all right, hold my beer.
Oh, dude, this fan base, at least on Twitter, and even some of the, I occasionally go on Vikings Facebook pages just to see the absolute dumpster fire.
Yeah.
Um, the discourse around told you we should have never let Kurt go, as he had half his touchdowns for the entire season in that game and
Yeah.
is still 3 touchdowns behind Sam Darnold after playing an extra game. I'm like, yards are cool. Kirk did great,
Yeah.
but no, I'm good. We're good. We
I made
don't
a
need him.
post. I made a post like right after we signed Darnold, and everybody would not shut up about Kirk. And it was one of the ones I had pop off a little bit earlier last spring, and it was something about why are we talking about Kurt brothers? Let's let our boy cook or something. And it was just a picture of Sam. That one kind of popped off a little bit.
Dude, yeah, it's the worst case scenario is for Darnold to have his one like bozo game of the year. Immediately after Kirk does that, this fan base will be in an absolute mess. Because every quarterback, I mean, you look at Kirk in week 1 against Pittsburgh, he looked terrible. So like every quarterback's going to have a game where it looks a little rough. It just really hope it's not this weekend. So 305.
Yep. So he's on a weird stat trajectory. So like the last time I came on, I said he was going to throw for 37 touchdowns. Well,
You're pacing for it.
He's on pace for over that, which is crazy. But he's also on pace for only passing for like 3,700 yards because of how good Aaron Jones has been. So it's like if they run the ball efficiently like they have been, that he can just keep doing what he does. And once they get inside like the 10 to 15, and he can do some funky pass to Jefferson where he just right over the corner shoulder into his hands, I'll take that.
Well, it's the exact opposite of what we had with Kirk the last couple of years. Because Kirk would have these 30, 40, 50-yard completions, wouldn't be a touchdown. We'd get into the red zone, and the running game wouldn't work, and then he he wasn't that good in the red zone compared to what we've seen Darnold be. So
Right.
now Darnold's not having, I mean, sans a few absolute crazy deep passes, having to do that. We're relying on the run game, and he's actually making those tight throws that Kirk is capable of, but probably was uncomfortable making in the red zone. And I think that it's ultimately letting us see what this offense should have been all along.
Oh, I want to make one quick change. I'm going to say 5 total touchdowns. They're not going to all be throwing. I think we see
Jared Goff situation?
I think we're going to see Sammy Boy let the legs loose and run a couple times.
I'm down. As long as we don't do some dumb throw your quarterback out for a reception thing after he's been dealing with a bruised knee, I'll be good.
Yeah.
Dan Campbell's an idiot, dude. He's like an evil genius. And like 90% of the time it works, but when it doesn't work, it like, oh God, that guy drives me. I would go insane as a fan of the Lions watching his decision making.
Well, I don't even know if I want to give him credit because it's what's their OC is so damn good at what he does.
Ben Johnson? Yeah.
Yeah.
Here's the worst scenario for the NFC North. For everyone except Chicago, is if Ben Johnson becomes the Bears coach.
Yeah, it would make things more fun. It would make things fun as a football fan.
It would bring parity across the division, I think, but I do not want Caleb Williams to actually hit his full potential, and I think that would allow it, so I'm good.
Yeah.
So you got Sammy D at 5 total touchdowns.
Yeah.
300 plus passing yards. What's your score prediction?
I think we're going to put up 40 plus.
Oh, I mean, technically, I guess we'd kind of have to with your prediction.
Yeah. I think it'll be 42-28. They'll come back a little bit in the second half because Flo is going to be like, all right, screw it. We'll play prevent. Just let them do whatever.
42-28. All right. I texted Brev, who is in the infirmary. He has it at 24-13 purple team. So he has a little bit of a tighter game. I think without CJ Mosley being out, with him being out and with them missing their starting right tackle, I think this game has the potential to get out of hand in our favor pretty early on.
Their line isn't very good to begin with, though, is it?
No.
Yeah, I was going to say, they have, what's his name from the Cowboys? Is he still playing like he used to, or is he playing like a washed player?
Oh, what's his
Smith.
face?
Tyron Smith.
I mean, he's still Tyron Smith. He's not what he used to, but he's not completely washed. I think he's slightly above average in his current state.
Right on.
But he's not. He's already earned his Hall of Fame credentials probably at that position. I don't think he's currently playing at that level, but he's probably the best they got on that line.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I guess we'll have to see because he's a left tackle, right? He's on the blind side.
Yep.
Yeah, so we're just going to have to rotate guys because no matter what you do, you're going to have Dallas Turner, Grenard, Van Ginkel, Cashman, somebody dropping down, and then you're going to have other guys. Pat Jones. The amount of disrespect that I just gave to Pat Jones leading this team in sacks and forgetting his name.
Dude, no, I've been saying every year for like the last 2 or 3 years he's going to be a training camp cut.
Dude, yeah, he was one when we did our cuts we had considered, but we're like, no, there's just too many guys in the defensive backfield we'll have to replace. And then the defensive backfield went through the absolute worst possible month ever. So that kind of changed, but I'm glad we kept him because I don't know what suddenly got into him, but he's freaking on fire.
Yeah. Well, they said in the offseason that he was just there grinding the whole time. He didn't go nowhere in the offseason. He stayed put and just worked.
Yeah. That's what you like to see from a guy who's this is his third year?
Yeah.
He was Zimmer's last year. Yeah, fourth year. So this would be his last.
I believe he's up for contract this year.
Yeah, so, I mean, that's what you want to see from a guy who's sitting there evaluating, being like, you know what? I probably have to step it up to earn my keep. And to this point, he's done it. So you said 42-28?
Yes.
Brev's got 24-17. I'm going to go 32. Nah, I'll go 34-24. I'm going to go 34-24. I think, to your point, the Vikings start off hot. I don't think things get as out of hand as they did last week, and we have this narrative that, like, oh, the Vikings can't finish games, because clearly that was, up to this point, a one-off. I think it's just naturally, like, Aaron Rodgers is going to score a few times throughout the game.
Right.
But I do think we keep a lead long enough. I think if we're down at any point, it would be they get the ball first and somehow score. It'll be one of those instances again. But I do think after this game, Sam Darnold will be the king of England and the mayor of New York City officially.
Just make him emperor of the whole planet.
At this point, yeah, the GEQB US thing is really actually. Yep. Have you been on that Reddit thread?
No. I just remember right when we signed him, I saw somebody tweeted out, look up his nickname the 49ers gave him, and I looked it up and I was like, oh, that's a wild nickname. And then here we are.
Well, so apparently there's the Sam Darnold Truthers Reddit that's been around since he got drafted, and it started there. And it is just these diehard. There's obviously like a little bit of like shit posting to it, but they've like found every metric possible to defend him at every point throughout his career. So I think it started there, and then the Niners locker room kind of heard about it. Yeah. I'm curious how that Reddit page is doing. I haven't seen it since before the season. I'm very curious how they're reacting to him leading the league in passing touchdowns.
I'm not a big Redditor myself, so I wouldn't.
Neither am I, but it's just, you occasionally you see something pop up and you're like, this looks like the funniest rabbit hole possible. It was more one of those, so I'm very curious how they're doing. We did go to Twitter yesterday to check in on you guys and see what your thoughts were. My friend Jason, no, not me, but Skol_Spartus. After the Vikings' complete domination this Sunday, the United Kingdom will oust Charles III and elect Kevin O'Connell as the new King of England. So we have a disagreement on who the new King of England's going to be. Michael Otis, sounds like it'll be 80% purple in the stands as the Vikings have the largest fan base in the UK, 27-17.
That's wild. I didn't know that.
Yep. I
feel like you see a lot of Jags and Dolphins jerseys over there.
A lot of Dolphins, I heard, and this could be completely wrong, but a friend from England told me it's because Ace Ventura. And then the Jags were named their official team, but the Vikings hit every box of an ideal European-themed team. Nordic theme, they're one of the teams linked to, I forgot what I think the international program, whatever the NFL calls it. And then drafting the first European player about 8 years ago in Moritz Boringer, which didn't turn into anything.
He was the first European drafted?
He was the first European national. Like, coming from a European league.
I thought back in, like, the 70s, they used to just draft kickers from out of there.
That could be true, so maybe it was non-kickers, but I think it was, I'm trying to remember the exact verbiage. He was the same one, like, a European resident in a European league drafted out of Europe.
Okay.
I think that covers it, because you're right, there were a lot of soccer guys or rugby kickers or even Australian. Well, Australia's not Europe, but I mean it's Europe. But Australian rules football players who got drafted as kickers. But I think he might have been the first skill position player. I don't know. Yeah. Somebody's gonna hit the comments with like some random guy named like Frederick Cunningham the Fourth, who like played for like Cleveland in 1982.
Whoever finds it, just tweet at me and Jason and let us know.
Yeah, make us feel stupid. But anyways, Moritz Boringer, they made a big deal about it for some freaking reason, so I don't know. Rodgers has a solid game. This is from Tanner. Keeps them in it because their DL wrecks the game. In the end, Robert Tunyon's fourth quarter touchdown is the difference maker. So he has it as a one-score game. Vikings win in the fourth. Our friend Legend of Korra, Vikings will win. Laughing face emoji. Short, sweet, to the point. Friend of mine who I'll be seeing at 6 a.m. tomorrow. Yes, I'm going to my first watch party of the year. Yes, I'm choosing a 6:30 kickoff to do it. If you're in Arizona and you're seeing this, come to Four Peaks in Tempe. I will be there. I believe a ton of other people will be there. And if you're one of the first 50 people in, you get a free breakfast buffet. So come to Tempe.
I'll be there.
Yeah, head on out. But I'll be seeing Chandler in the morning. Vikings win on Sunday and beat the Jets by 10+ points. Troy, 34-23 Vikings, which I think is, I said 34-24. Tim Flagstad, 24-3. So he does not have
Oh,
the Jets doing anything.
okay.
I would love that. Dom Miller, Sam Darnold sees Kirk Cousins' stat line and outdoes it with 510 yards and 5 touchdowns.
That's right up my
Absolutely
alley.
destroying his former team in a 38-17 blowout in front of the UK fan base. The GEQB US becomes the newest GEQB UK.
I
This
love
is the
that.
greatest reply I think I've ever seen. That is
I think
awesome.
he and I pretty much said the exact same thing.
Yeah, but you see, you kept it at 300.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he feels like a man smells like Skolcial. He went up for 500 yards, and the Kirk Cousins discourse officially dies in a terrible fire. Sick
Fingers crossed.
Rosa, Vikings 27, Jets 17. Ziu, Vikings 37, Jets 16. Vikings defense sacks Rodgers 6 times. Jefferson keeps the touchdown streak alive. Vikes, dude, 27-9 Vikes. So again, no touchdowns on the Jets' part. Or maybe a touchdown and a safety?
Maybe. Or
Probably three
miss
field goals.
PAT.
Yeah, that is also I was like, there's only 2 ways this could happen. You're correct. 4 sacks of Rodgers and 1 interception. Hopefully no purple injuries from the turf. For those who remember, gruesome injury on that field last time we played there. Like one of the ones where as soon as you see the instant replay, you get a little sick to your stomach. Let's hope for both teams that doesn't happen. Tom Hohen, gonna be an ugly game, no doubt. Turnovers, penalties, etc. Vikings win 20-10. Remember, at the end of the regular season, the league doesn't ask how, but it asks how many. Beautiful insight. I love when people reply with like just like some like deep insight, and I'm like, yeah, hell yeah, dude. Put that on a t-shirt. Red, aka Harvest Finance / The Watch. 33-10 Vikings. Rodgers throws a diva tantrum and gets his head coach fired.
Did you see that interaction between them on the sideline last weekend?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I think that's what he's leaning into, but he has
Yeah.
Saleh getting fired off of this.
Dude, Saleh hasn't. I don't think he's cut for it as a head coach.
My child is just, that toddler yell where they're not like mad, but they're just yelling just to yell.
Yeah, they're just making noise.
I can hear him running up and down our living room.
Hey,
Jody Reader?
I have that.
Sorry, Jody, for.
Oh.
You go ahead. Sorry,
I
think I was on slight lag.
I have that, but times 3.
Yeah, I'm hoping to have some pace of peace in the middle. But inevitably, I know all my kids are just going to be crackheads. Jody Reader, Jody, I'm so sorry if I'm messing up your last name. Reiter. 33-21 Vikings. I haven't had time to look over my usual stats, but I have faith in our boys. Solid enough. JW, whose profile picture is a cat with an orange on its head. Smith houses one on Karen Rodgers for a pick 6. Ooh. UK officially adopts the Vikings as the country's team. And then Grouchy Albie, at James Gaylor 9, 26-16 Minnesota. Or sorry, not 26, 20-16 Minnesota. I misread that.
That's an odd score, but all right.
So we have a fair amount of conservative like teens to 20s, and then we have 510 for 5.
I'm leaning more towards that last one.
Yeah, I think that's right. I think, he sounds like somebody who believes more, Dom does, in Sam Darnold than you. Because, 300, smaller than 500 significantly, but the 5 touchdowns you guys can share.
Yeah. I was looking at it as a whole team perspective. Like I said, they use Aaron Jones quite a bit. Darnold doesn't have as many passing yards as you think he would. But who you know what? I bet you they'll do the same thing they did with Aaron Jones last week. They're just going to let Sam do his thing and try and let him score as many times as possible.
But I didn't love that with Aaron Jones because it cost us to have a couple of our worst plays of the game.
Yeah.
I think that I don't think that was the reason we let him back in, but I don't think it helped. Because, like,
Right.
that one interception Darnold had was just him doing anything he could to get Jonesy a touchdown.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want us to make bad football decisions just to get someone a TD. But the good news is that the quarterback, like, just playing normal football, you'll have plenty of opportunities to do cool shit.
Right.
So with that, Brev hopefully will be alive and well, and we could do our post-game show either tomorrow or early this week. But everybody follow Edman. I think it's what, at 2_, Edman,
Yeah.
2_. Okay. I tried to tag you in something the other day, and I was like, why isn't it bringing them up? And it was the underscores. Everyone
Yes.
forgets those. Where else can they find you? You're on TikTok, Instagram, anywhere else you want to promote?
I don't really do much social media. I just do Twitter. That's about it.
Fair enough. I mean, that's pretty
It's the
much
only
where
thing
we all
I'm
just
really
sit there.
vocal on, at least.
Yes, that's where we all just sit there and talk ball. So makes sense. So we will see you guys. We are excited. I am so excited personally to wake up at like 4:30 in the morning to watch football. But anything for the Vikings. We will see you guys after the game. Skol Vikes. Thank you for watching the Skolcial Network.